Childless women, do you judge a guy if he says he would never date a single mom? I think your interpersonal skills need to be polished quite a bit. First of all, why do you need to say this in conversation? Here is no reason someone needs to hear this info, and it might make you sound like a prick. Secondly, why go to they ghost me because they judge me? Maybe they want to have a kid someday and dating you would be counterproductive because you don't want kids. I'm a single mom and take no offense when a man says he doesn't date single mothers. Nope. I am child-free by choice, and I don't want to date men with kids. I would never judge you for having the same preferences lol. As long as you don't make it your whole personality with rude statements like if your kid's father didn't want you, neither do I. It just screams immature. You can always politely refuse if your date brings it up on a later date, or swipe left if the information is already declared on the dating profile. No need to be a dick about it, that's all. You're allowed to have standards regarding what you're looking for in a partner and the lifestyle you want to have. Some women think the same way about men and don't want to date them if they have a child. It's your and their preferences, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just be honest and respectful. I guess for some women, if you're not willing to date a single mom, it would make her think of herself in that situation. Or if she were to date you and fall pregnant, would you stick around or leave? But what I guess is probably more true is that people will often judge you because you don't want that kind of partner, because single moms deserve love too. And how do you know if she won't be the best partner? And her kid will learn to love you if you just give it a chance, so there must be something wrong with you for not wanting to do that. Honestly though, if they are willing to ghost you for not being interested in single moms, then so be it. Move on. The world is way too obsessed with making sure everyone's feelings aren't hurt at the expense of your own. Not everything is for everyone, so if people are going to be butthurt because you're not interested in something, let them be and let them go. As long as you're being respectful about stating that opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with having a preference. It's weird if you're just dropping that fact on every woman you go on a date with if they don't have kids, but if you say it when it's relevant, what's wrong with that? There are lots of women who aren't interested in dating single parents too. You're allowed to have a preference for the lifestyle your partner lives, and dating someone who is a parent doesn't work for everybody. I know you were asking women, but as a single guy with no kids, I never dated women with kids until recently. What I found is that while I was in a position to make her a priority in my life, she was not in the same position, understandably, as kids come first. She had 50 custody. At first I only saw her every other weekend as she couldn't just intro me to her kids right away, so every other weekend would go by and I could not see her, and her ex took advantage, sometimes, and would take more weekends than his share, leaving her, and I had to pay the price. Months later I did see her when she had her kids, but it was for family stuff, which I didn't mind, but it was not ideal. We've since broken up and I am sticking with childless women, which is not to look down on single moms as lesser than, but I think they are better suited with single dads, not childless men. Just one man's opinion. Not in general. I wouldn't date single dads either, but I wouldn't put it in my profile. Reading in profiles, single moms, swipe left, or I don't want to be a stepdad to any kids of another man, or no, single moms just sounds rude and mean. I wouldn't want to date a man who feels the need to put single moms down in his profile. Are the women child-free or just childless? I'm childless, but I eventually want kids, so this situation wouldn't work for me either. It could just be you're interacting with women who want kids, so they don't want to date someone who doesn't. Just don't tell it. Stick to I don't want kids, which is exactly the same. Why are you even discussing this with women who don't have kids in the first place? Just seems irrelevant for them to know who you don't date. Depends why and how. To be fair, I'm just not ready to be any kind of father figure to anyone. I am childless. I dated men with kids. I also dated single men. I wouldn't judge if a man said that. I would think he knew what he wanted. I also would not date a person bothered by others' preferences. For reference, my sister is a single mom. It just depends on the person. No, this is really no different than CFB women saying they don't want to date a man because he has children. You are allowed your preferences just as much as they are. That said, maybe it was the way you said it that rubbed them the wrong way. Sometimes tone, especially if it's through text, can be misconstrued, and if they read it in a certain tone, then it could be what does it. But also, if you say the quiet and free lifestyle I want with a partner is almost impossible if there is a child, that could be what's doing it. You don't want kids, totally cool, but they might be child-free currently and want kids in the future, therefore you are no longer compatible and they just ghost rather than saying, oh that's cool, I am currently child-free, but would like them in the future, so this isn't going to work, if that makes sense. Depends on the reason you give after saying you want date a single mom. Dating is based on discrimination of some sort in the first place anyway. If your reasons are not insulting and demeaning, then good for you for having your own standards. No, unless you are a single dad. Why would you not want to deal with a woman's children from another relationship, but you expect women to deal with yours? Then I definitely judge and would pass ghost you, lol. If you are childless and wish to remain so, whether they are yours, biologically or not, I wouldn't judge if I was also a childless woman and wished to remain so. It would depend on the wording. Many men are vile about single moms. It's fine as long as he's not being judgmental or hateful about single moms. I don't prefer single moms vs I would never date a single mom. One sounds genuine and the other sounds judgmental. I'm childless, and I don't want to date single dads, not because I would never date them, but rather I just prefer child-free men. It's all about tone, mood and attitude he vocalizes.